When this presidential election began almost a year ago, I knew that aside from the handful of candidates that I don't like that would piss me off with their odious policy ideas, make me cringe, make me, like just really irritated. I knew aside from that at the very least they would provide some comic relief, and just make me laugh, stuff like that. But I had no idea how much watching one of them drop out, would produce so much serotonin until I saw today that Kamala Harris has dropped out of the Democratic primary for president. Wow. Mrs. Top tier candidate is out 2 months before we even get to voting in Iowa and New Hampshire. So, and with this, subsequently, we get some reports from now former aides and staffers of Kamala Harris's campaign. This is my favorite part, saying like they're admitting, oh, the downfall of her campaign was when Tulsi Gabbard absolutely destroyed her in one of the debates back in, I think it was September, which is true. I mean, Tulsi absolutely obliterated Kamala Harris, and I'm going to get to Tulsi, that back and forth between them specifically in just a second. But the one thing that really sticks out to me with her announcing that she's dropping out, is two things. One, she said in her announcement that she simply doesn't have the financial resources to move forward, and to me that means two things. For one, she obviously can't rack up a lot of small donations from regular folks because regular people don't like her, and she can't rack up. I mean, she could partake in corruption and take money from corrupt, wealthy special interests and oligarchs on Wall Street, but they're not going to give her money either because, I mean, she's been exposed for her atrocious record as a prosecutor. So, I mean, to said with her to be political suicide, and if they were to give her their money, throw their hat in the ring for her, so to speak, and then she loses to Trump in a landslide in the general, well, then obviously all their money would be wasted. They don't want to do that. So obviously they wouldn't do that because it's political suicide and to be a waste of their money. So they're not going to. So that's out. So she simply can't keep herself going. But you have to think. She has to think. Why couldn't I keep myself going? Why couldn't I make the money to keep myself going? Because nobody likes her. Because her atrocious record as a prosecutor, was exposed. So to go back to that original spat with Tulsi, where Tulsi introduced her to the other side of a bus, what did Tulsi tell us? Well, she revealed that Kamala Harris had locked people up for marijuana offenses, laughed about the idea of smoking marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from being released, and one of probably the most damning of all, that she kept people in prison beyond their sentences and used them as cheap labor for the state of California. There's a word for that. It's called slavery. A black woman did literal slavery. So, and then I was watching one of Jimmy Dore's live shows, and his friend Graham Elwood, that's a regular contributor on Jimmy Dore's show, brought up how when I can never say her name. Is it Kamala? I've always gone back and forth with it. I mean, in Finnish, the word literally translates to terrible. The word Kamala literally translates to terrible or horrible, which one of the two. So that should tell you all you need to know about Kamala Harris. Grandma Elwood brought up when she was a district attorney, she protected pedophile priests. So now I am now going, because I fact check and I do my research, because that's another point I want to bring up. I'm now going to pull up an article regarding that. This is from The Intercept. It's loading, and the lighting is going to change. Okay, so again, this is from The Intercept. Let's see. When it came to taking on the Catholic Church, survivors of clergy sexual abuse say that Harris turned a blind eye, refusing to take action against clergy members accused of sexually abusing children when it meant confronting one of the city's most powerful political institutions. So again, that should tell you all you need to know about Kamala Harris. When push comes to shove, she loves to peacock these talking points about being a prosecutor and standing up for the voiceless and the powerless. But when push comes to shove, she's going to toe the line for the powerful and the well-connected and the institutions and the powers that be every day of the week and twice on Sunday. So, yeah, why would you want to vote for and see, like, I like as soon as I brought that up, I wanted to make sure I had that thing from The Intercept ready to go because, like, I know for a fact Kamala Harris was banking on us not unearthing all of these horrible things that she's done over the course of her career, and that's the thing a lot of politicians want. They think you're stupid. They don't want you to fact check and do your homework and do your research and be informed. Like doesn't want people like me going on Google or whatever, going to The Intercept and seeing all these articles exposing all the horrendous things she's done over the course of her career as a prosecutor and as a politician. I mean, she kept saying on the debate stage, the greatest threat to national security is Donald Trump. Well, that's why you voted, along with Elizabeth Warren, who voted for this also, voted to give him more money for bombs in the military and more money than he was asking for. They keep peddling this notion that he's a maniac, he's unhinged, he's unfit, he's a Manchurian candidate. But then they vote to make him the most powerful human being that's ever lived? With a bloated military budget, upwards of $1 trillion, more bombs, more warrantless NSA spying? The unhinged maniac is the most powerful man in the world because of people like her that talk out of both sides of their mouths. So, and my lesson to y'all out there watching this is do your homework, do your research, fact check, be informed, know what's going on. Because the only reason Kamala Harris can still be a senator, can still have a political career going forward, is not just because of the decay and the corruption in our system, but because she's banking on people like us to not do our homework and not be informed. So if we are informed, we can watch it. She now is proof that if we're informed and we push back against people like her, they'll crumble. So hopefully this is just one of many political wins to come for us, because this is definitely a win. It had a smile on my face all day. So those are my thoughts. Hope y'all enjoyed. Smack the like button if you did. Comment, subscribe. Hit the bell to get notified when we upload a new video. See you next time.